Alright, we're up here in New York today. We're in Medford, New York. It's on Long Island, and there's the new trailer back there, and here's the used trailer I'm going to take back to Houston. So right now what they're doing, there was an air leak underneath here, so he's underneath checking the air leak. And I thought, well hell, while he's under there changing hoses around, he redid the wires or the hoses so it lifts the front axle up. So now I only got 2 tires back here instead, or two axles instead of 3. It'll make the tolls a little bit cheaper and make the trailer ride a little bit better when it's empty. So, where are we at? We got to run back down through New York City today again. This time we get to go through during the daylight, so we'll see what it looks like during the day, okay? Whoa, now let's get slowed down here a little bit. Traffic. We're getting ready to get into some here. Hello people, this is the Q&A video. Tricked you on it, didn't it? Started to do some music stuff. Now this is the Q&A video. I'm in New York here in this video, obviously. This is getting off of Interstate 495 and getting ready to go south on 278. Interstate 278, which is the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway, and that'll take me down south toward the Verrazano Narrow Bridge. And here in just a little bit you'll be seeing me go underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. I don't go across it, of course, but I go underneath it. And let me see, that takes me back over to Jersey, and then I head back to Texas. And as I'm doing this video, I'm actually in Houston right now doing this video, and I've got another trailer heading to Mississippi, so look for that in an upcoming video. All right, to Q&A. I said send your questions in on this on that particular video. I don't remember which number it was. But anyway, so I'm going to read off the questions and answer them as we go here. So look at that fancy mural job they got on that trailer there. Only in the big cities. All right, first question is, do driver pairs or team drivers have a big advantage when it comes to drive time and logbook scheduling? If there is an advantage, it seems like there would be as a non-trucker. Would you be able to qualify for someone for us to know if you have the knowledge of how they operate? How would a position-based logbook reset work where 2 people, assuming one can keep driving? Okay, when it comes to team driving, it's almost set up. You can run out of hours running team, but that truck has to run almost non-stop. But for the most part, team driving is a really good setup for like a husband and wife team, or boyfriend girlfriend, something like that, man and wife, whatever. When you start putting 2 men in a truck, it works, but it's not the most enjoyable thing, because you got 2 big old bulls in a china closet, you know, just not enough room for everybody, and that's one problem. But the biggest problem is the money. You've got a truck that has to support 2 households this way. When it's a husband and wife or whatever, it's a truck that's supporting 1 household, and you're making twice as much money because two drivers in it. Okay, not twice as much. That's a misnomer. You never make twice as much in a team. Teams are efficient when it comes to loads that have to be all the way across country really quick for some reason. But when it comes to just your day-to-day driving and stuff, it seems like you get laid over here. All the positives of running team get diminished when you have to lay over somewhere and you got 2 drivers sitting still instead of just 1, you know. So I did team for a little while back, way back when I was married, trying to make a living work, you know, for the family and the whole 9 yards. It just, you bend over backwards trying to make it work, and it didn't for me. I didn't like team driving. If it was a man and wife team driving, it's great, because if she's already sitting there in the passenger seat looking pretty, you might as well put her to work, right? Anyway, with all that said, team driving, it's not for me. It works in certain situations. It's a must in some situations, but for the most part, I'd say 95% of the trucks out there are solo drivers. Okay, more tack. What are some of the hairiest experiences you've had in the whole time of driving? Whether it be other truckers going crazy, doing things, unsecured cargo, cars cutting you off, or even funny lights in the sky. Funny lights in the sky. Okay, UFOs. Do I believe in UFOs? No. Do I believe in Bigfoot? No. Do I believe in Loch Ness Monster? No. Do I, you know, I'm not a big person on that type of stuff. Do I believe there's aliens? Probably in the universe somewhere. Do they come and fly around in saucers? No, I don't think so. If they did, they'd probably be taking us over. So is there a place out there that's like Star Trek, and you know, the Federations of Planets? Well, maybe, who knows? But I have a hard time. It's science fiction, I think. So, but as far as lights in the sky, yeah, I have seen some weird lights in the sky late at night. Of course, most of them are obviously stuff like you know, meteors falling, or you know, space debris falling. I saw a really good one out in New Mexico. Actually, I saw two of them in the same area in New Mexico, down on I-10, down around the Deming, New Mexico, El Paso area, right along in there. I was driving along one night, and I saw a huge ball of flame going through the sky, and it never did hit the ground. It was like skimming the atmosphere. And I heard the next morning that it was some kind of big space debris. It wasn't the Mir space station or anything like that, but it was something like that. It was a large something that was left up in space that had lost orbit and came down and burned up. That was actually pretty neat. It was in there a long, you know, usually shooting stars are just boom and they're over with. This took a long time to come through. You know, it was up there for 20 or 30 seconds, it seemed. That was pretty neat. But it wasn't a UFO. I mean, it was obviously what it was. In that same area, though, one night I'm driving along and look to the south, down above the Mexican border, and I see a light up in the clouds kind of flying around, hovering. I don't know. It was weird. I couldn't figure that one out. Later on, I come to find, years later, I learned that they have balloons. The Border Patrol has balloons floating around up in the sky. The only thing I can figure, it was a balloon that had a light on it. Why would it have a light on it? I don't know. Maybe shining down so the Border Patrol could, you know, zero in. If it's a real dark night, they have a little ambient light to navigate by. I don't know. But it was weird looking. It was weird looking, but I don't think it was a space alien or nothing like that. As far as other, crazy thing, unsecured cargo, yeah, I saw in St. Louis, 25 years ago, something like a long time ago, I saw a flatbed that he was hauling a big steel coil, like a great big donut steel coil, and it broke loose and rolled forward and crushed the back of his cab. He was okay. It crushed the sleeper all to pieces, but the cab, the driver's seat was okay, so he made it out, but it ruined that truck. I've also seen trailers break in half and other oddball things. I've seen some horrific accidents over the years, and I don't want to gore you out on them, but you know, a few dead bodies here and there once in a while, it's happened. So those are the bad things, or the you know, the odd or the terrible things or whatever that I've seen, but nothing gory. I mean, well, I shouldn't say gory, but nothing that you probably haven't, you know, realized, like on the 5 o'clock news, you know, that kind of stuff. But to drive by it as it happened or right after it happened or something, it's odd. Anyway, let's go to the next one here. How's the van build going? I haven't touched it since before Christmas. I got sick at Christmas and was trying to finish it up so I could take it to the RTR. It was probably a good thing I didn't, because everybody likes the truck, so they were happy to see the truck. But the van build's coming along whenever I have a chance. I got home I was home a week or so ago, and but it was cold and windy and rainy and just miserable, and I just didn't want to go out there and mess around, and I just decided to stay at the house most of the time. But all I have to really do is put the kitchen countertop in and build some shelves underneath and the doors, and I'll be done. I mean, I didn't tear it all the way apart. I just kind of remodeled it a little bit. So it shouldn't take maybe a solid week of working on it, and I should kind of wrap it up, I'm hoping. And whenever I do, I will make a full walkthrough video of the whole thing, just like I did with the truck on video 100. I'll put it on video 200. If you notice, there is no video 200 right now. I skipped over 200 so I could put the van build, the tour of the van when it's finally done. Why? Easy to find. Video 100 is the truck, video 200 is the van. People have asked me also about the bus. When I was at the out at the RTR at the court site, man, I was really impressed with it by the Bluebird bus. I'm really thinking hard on that, and if I do anything like that, I'll have to sell the van. And if I do sell the van, I'll probably use the van for another maybe a year. I don't know, something like that, and go on a few vacations here and there. It's a great vacation vehicle. Would I want to live in it full time? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'd like to have something a little bit bigger living full time. That's why I'm looking at the van, or bus, I mean. So I don't know. Maybe just, I don't know. Someday I'll maybe sell it. Maybe I'll put it up to mention it on the channel here and see if anybody here on the channel might want to buy it. If not, I'll just take it down to the dealer and see what they'll give me for it. Okay, what's the longest I've kept a truck, and do I have a favorite one? Yeah, my favorite truck was the truck right before this. It was a 2015 Kenworth flat top. It was Aerocab flat top. I ordered that truck from the factory. I ordered the 09 T660. I ordered it from the factory too. The one that's up in Kansas right now at the wheat farm. I ordered that. I spec'd that one out and ordered it from the factory. It came in, and then when it got wrecked, I bought I ordered the 15 W900. I ordered it. That was my favorite truck. That was the prettiest truck I've ever owned. It rode the best, even better than this truck. It rode excellent. That was the truck I worked for so many years to get, and I finally got it built and got burnt out on the California stuff, so I sold it and bought this truck. This truck is my favorite to live in, but to drive down the road, just looking cool, that 2015 Kenworth, boy, it looks sweet. I really liked it. I ought to do a video on that for you someday. Show you the different trucks I've owned. That's a video I could put together, I suppose. And what's the longest I kept one? The T660 Kenworth. It's an aerodynamic Kenworth. I had it for about 5.5 years. That's the one up in Kansas now. Simple question. What's the favorite day of the week? My favorite day of the week is Friday. Why? Friday's payday. Let's see. The liner. Okay. Jeremy Lynn. He mentioned that it's called an end dump. Yeah, that dump trailer I had. They call them end dumps. The liner. I thought it was to help things slide out easier, which it does. But the main reason they put it in is so it doesn't wear the aluminum out. The aluminum's only so thick, okay? And when you're hauling gravel and sand and things like that are very, very abrasive, and you haul a load every day and you lift that up and that comes sliding out. Think of that whole load as like a huge load of sandpaper scraping that aluminum off, okay? And you do that, day after day, after year, it'll wear through the aluminum. So you put that liner in there so it won't wear it out. Now, if you're hauling dirt, you probably don't need a liner, but abrasive things like gravel and sand, that's what you need it for. Actually, when I got up to New York, I was delivering the trailer, and they were telling me they weren't done with it yet. They still had to put a tarp on it, and they had to put a lift axle on it, and or change the axle to a lift axle. And they also were going to put plywood on the sides. And I'm like, really? He says, yeah, the liner only comes up about 1.5 feet on each side, and we'll put plywood all the way to the top. And the trailer that I brought back from New York back to Houston, I didn't take a picture of it, unfortunately. I didn't think to do that. But on the inside, the plywood was worn completely through toward the tailgate. Not at the front of the trailer, but toward the tailgate. As they lift that up and all that stuff slides out the back, I'm used to dump trucks being steel, you know, and steel will wear a lot better. But aluminum's pretty soft, so it wears pretty. So that's why they put those liners in there. I learned something new. I didn't know that. I mean, I 30 years of trucking, and I never done rock hauling or gravel and, you know, end dump or any of that stuff. I've never done that kind of thing. So I'm you know, ignorant of that stuff myself. How much did they cost? How much does an end dump cost? I have no idea. 30, 40,000, I guess. I don't know. At least you were not trying to get... Okay, Pete K said, at least you were not trying to get into Houston from I-10 from Louisiana. Here the bridge traffic is killer, where the towboat hit the bridge support. Okay, over in Baytown, Texas. In Baytown, there's a big bridge that goes over a waterway for boats to go under, ships to go underneath, and apparently a tugboat pulling a barge or whatever bumped into that and cracked the concrete, I guess. I don't bent the bridge supports underneath it. I don't know if it's concrete or steel under there, but they hit something and bent something and broke something. Going eastbound on 10, there's no backup of any type that I saw. I just drove along, just never had a clue. On the way back, on westbound on I-10, going over across the bridge there in Baytown, the left lane is closed. And there's signs as you come up to it saying overweight trucks. That's the heavy haul trucks, the really, really heavy ones, multi-axles and stuff like that. They have to take a detour around that bridge. But just regular trucks and cars and whatever, I think it's 3 lanes wide, 4 lanes. 4 lanes wide going westbound, and the 2 left lanes are closed down. So it narrows it from a 4 lane to a 2 lane. So I can see in rush hour traffic, that would be morning rush hour was probably heck through there. When I came through, it was evening and, you know, after dark and stuff, so it wasn't backed up at all. Did you retire from the military? No, I was only in for 3 years. I was in the Army, U.S. Army. I was in early 80s, and I was in M1 tanks, you know, M1 Abrams tanks. I was a crew member on them. I started out as a loader, then a driver, then a gunner. Right before I got out, I was a gunner. I never made it to commander, but you got to be in 5 or 6, 7 years, or hell, probably longer than that. You got to be at least an E5 or an E6 to become a commander of a tank. Let's see. I haven't drove an empty trailer of my own. I'm loading very little deadhead, so low. How does wind affect? Okay. This guy says William Burnett says he drove an empty trailer of his own, but usually it was fully loaded and everything. So how does the wind affect when you're driving with an empty or light trailer? It's like a great big billboard. So if you got a tailwind or a headwind, no problem. But when you got a crosswind, especially like on, I don't know, in Wyoming, huge winds up in Wyoming in the wintertime, and it can be brutal. So you got to be careful. I remember the first couple years I was driving, I went across, I think it was one of the first times I went across Wyoming, in fact. I was driving across there, it was the middle of winter, huge winds coming off of Elk Mountain. And I had just unloaded, I had a load of pharmaceutical, like, you know, the collection bags for when you go to the dentist and they suck all the junk out of your blood and stuff out of your mouth from surgery or something. The collection bags for all that. I had a load of that type of material on the truck, you know, just bags, and it's really, really light stuff. I had unloaded in Denver, and I had, I think 3 or 4 or 5 more pallets going to Salt Lake City, and I had to run across there, basically empty. And the wind was blowing so hard, it was about ready to blow me off the road. Another driver saw that I was having trouble, and he pulls up and says, a veteran driver, this is, like I said, this is back when I was a new driver, a rookie. He saw I was having trouble. He pulls up beside me. He says, does that help you out any? He says, just stay along beside me. I'll stay in the middle or left lane. You stay in the right lane. I'll get you through this. And he basically ran a wind block all the way 40 or 50 miles driving along like that. And kind of saved my butt. I probably might have laid the trailer over for all I knew. You know, I was dumb and young and dumb, you know, didn't know any better. So, but yeah, if the wind gets that strong, you should just pull over. I don't drive in that kind of weather with these empty trailers. I pull over. Let's see, next thing. What kind of stick do you have, and can you get the other guy's website? Would like to buy a t-shirt. Oh, stickers. He's asking what kind of stickers do I have. I just got these little bumper sticker. They're little blue bumper stickers. They're, I think, 11 inches by an inch and a half tall, something like that. And it's blue. It says Sasnak, and that's all. If I don't have time to mail those out to everybody and do all the legwork on that, so I gave them to a friend of mine named Tom. He has a website. He has a YouTube channel also, and it's Hobotech, and he has a website called Hobotech TV. You see, it's hobotech.tv/shop/. If you type that in, you'll get to his website, and you'll be able to buy a sticker. You can buy one of his stickers, you can buy one of my stickers, you can buy a combination of the two. Whatever, and he'll do the mailing for you, okay? And he makes the money on that. I don't make any money on that at all. He's the one doing the work, and he's doing me a favor, so I let him make the profit on it. If you meet me in person, I'll give you one free. I'll just give stickers. I'm not out here to make money on stickers. So I just know there's a lot of people like them and everything, so I bought a pack of them, and I'm just giving them away for free. When those run out, I might make a new design and get another batch of them. I don't know. But anyway, that's how you can get one if you really want one. Hobotech.tv/shop. How does it feel to be the Big 3-0? Big 3-0. I looked at that for a second. I didn't get it at first. I'm 50. Big 3-0. Oh, 30,000. 37. Yeah, we finally come across 30,000 subscribers here a while back, about a week or so ago. And it feels good. It feels good. I will be celebrating the 50th, where we're 50,000 and 100,000. Those are the bigger ones. I celebrated 10,000 when I got it, and when 25 came around, I made a note of it. Hey, everybody, 25,000. But I don't want to be around. Hey, 26,000. Hey, 27,000. Hey, 20. You know, I just it's neat. It's fun. But the next one I'm going to make a deal out of is when I hit 50,000. If I ever get there, which I hope I will. So, anyway, thanks, Sally, for the 30,000. Congrats. Phil the Stalker. I see 30,333 subscribers. Well, I'll be doggone. Play those numbers, people. On the lottery. He asked me, do I play the lottery? Yeah, I play the lottery once in a while. I mean, I don't buy $50 or $100 worth of tickets. What I usually do is when the lottery, the Powerball or the Mega Millions, when it gets really big, you know, 200, 300, 400,000, you know, that kind of stuff, I'll go in and buy one ticket on each one of them, okay, per day, okay? Since I'm traveling a lot, and I try to buy my tickets in Texas. One of the main reasons is there's no state income tax down there, so if you did win, that's a huge tax savings by not having the income tax, the state income tax. So I try to buy all my tickets in Texas or other states that don't have income tax, and I'll buy $20 worth or something like that, but that'll be over 10 drawings, okay? So it's like $2 for this, you know, $2 on Wednesday, $2 on Friday or Saturday, $2 on Wednesday, $2 on Saturday. And I don't blow a lot of money on it because it's such a long shot. It's really such a long shot. You never know. You know, you can't win if you don't have a number. So I play it once in a while. I don't go crazy with it though. Justin Henry says, will you help me get my CDL? I don't know what I could do to give you a CDL. You go down to the DMV and you get a booklet. You study for it just like you do a driver's license test. When you pass that written test, then you have to do a driving test. The way to do that is go find a They rent trucks. You just do a Google search in your local area for a truck rental for CDL testing truck rental or something like that. And you can rent a truck and go down and use that. Just like in a car, you have to do a written test and a driving test. And also in a CDL, you have to do an inspection test, a walk around inspection. And it's just like in a car. It's just you have to have a truck though. So most people don't own a truck, so you have to rent one. The best way to get a CDL though, if you're wanting to get into trucking, if you're not a truck driver, don't have a CDL, whatever, you can go to work for these companies that have in-house schooling. You can go that route and buy. They'll get you your CDL, and then you'll hire on with them. There's an agreement you do. You'll agree to work for them for a year or to pay off your schooling and your CDL tests and all that kind of stuff. Sounds fair to me. If they provide the machinery, you provide the labor for a year, and both of you get something out of it. You get into the trucking industry, and they get a driver for a year. And if they're a good company, they'll keep you. If they're a bad company, you'll leave and go somewhere else and do better elsewhere. There's a lot of those big companies like that. You can find them online, truck driver training schools, stuff like that. But I don't like to recommend different trucking companies because I've worked for one company that had a training organization in it, and I don't feel good recommending them. So anyway, with that said, I don't want to go any more than that, I guess. But other companies I have that have schools I didn't work for, so I can't recommend them either. So I know there's some places you might want to stay away from, but I won't get into that either. So as far as the truck driving classes and stuff like that, you can also look into community college. A lot of community colleges have a truck driver training course, and you pay the college, and then you're free to work for whichever company you want to work for after that. Let's see. Phil the Stalker again, Q&A. I went around and recorded everything I thought I'd find interesting with my first recorder. Never edited it down or added music or narration. It's all raw footage that's still interesting to watch without any editing. My editing was the on and off switch. What's the best recording and editing package for dummies? I mean, beginners. I guess Apple has a pretty good editing software on their computers. I've never owned an Apple computer, so I don't know. But I guess their software is fairly good. I know several YouTubers that do use the Apple software. The editing software I use is Sony Movie Studio Platinum 13, and I don't think you can buy it anymore because they've moved on to Vegas, and they probably got a newer version than that now. It's pretty good software. It works good for me. While I was at the RTR, I got to talking to a guy that he was of all things a film editor for I think ABC News or somebody like that. Anyway, that's what his job was, is editing footage. And we got to talking about the subject. Him and Tom and we all got to talking about it. And I had heard of this software called DaVinci Resolve, and it's DaVinci Resolve 15 is the full name. And he said it's really, really good software. So I've downloaded it, and I've been tinkering with it, trying to learn it, but I'm not familiar enough with it yet to use it. So I still use the Sony software that I'm familiar with, but eventually I will probably go in, start using DaVinci, because I can do a lot more things like color grading and just a whole lot of other stuff that I can't do on Sony, or that I don't know how to do on Sony. And I think it's better software. So, but I'm still trying to learn that software, so I haven't done anything with it really yet. All right, next question. How do I adjust my rear view mirrors? Looking for the trail. How do I adjust the rear view mirrors, and how much to the side of the trailer do I keep in my mirror frame? All right, when I'm sitting straight upright in the seat, which is the way you need to sit when you're driving a truck, you need to sit upright. When I'm sitting upright in the driver's seat, looking straight ahead, I rotate my head toward the mirror, right, left or right. I rotate my head toward the mirror, and there's electric mirrors. On this truck, there's electric mirrors. Otherwise, you get out. But the way I like to have them adjusted is when I not lean back, not move my body in any way, just turn my head. When I turn my head, I look in the mirror, and it should be almost all road and just barely a sliver of the trailer down the inside edge of the mirror. That's the way I like to adjust my mirrors. This truck has electric mirrors. I can adjust it while I'm driving. I can move them in and out. That comes in handy when you're in a real tight spot and you're trying to back in or something. You can turn your mirror so you can actually see the end of your trailer, because when you turn, a lot of times your trailer gets out of the field of vision of your mirror. So this truck has electric mirrors. Not all trucks have that. Okay, what kind of editing software I use? I've already covered that. What type of laptop do I use? What type of laptop? I have an Asus, A-S-U-S, Asus or Asus. It's a ZenBook, or ZenBook. Great laptops. It's really thin. It's like a MacBook Air. It's really thin. I love it. It's stainless, or it's a aluminum shell on the top and back and everything. Kind of a brushed aluminum look. It's a very thin computer. I've got two of them. I've got the one that's up on the passenger on the table, where the passenger seat is, where the table is. I have a 13-inch up there that I had for years. And when I started editing videos, it wasn't fast enough. It didn't have a good enough processor and video card in it. So I went and bought another computer, which is the one I have here that I'm using for editing. And it's an Asus. I don't know the exact number and all that. But anyway, it's an Asus ZenBook. It's got an i7 processor, a 1050 video card, 512 gigabytes of solid state drive. Solid state drive is excellent. Excellent. Next computer you buy, look into it. Instead of a hard drive, get a solid state drive. They last forever. They're faster. Everything about them is better. So look into that. Let's see. Do I watch any other trucking channels? No, I live trucking. I don't really care to watch any more trucking. I don't watch a lot of, I like the RV stuff, but I don't watch a lot of RV channels. I watch Tom's, of course. I watch Adventure Van Man. I watch Bob Wells. Sometimes I don't watch every one of his videos, but I watch a majority of them. What's the other one? I used to watch several RV videos, but not so much anymore. Most of the stuff that I watch is science or I'm learning something. One of my favorite channels is Smarter Every Day. This is YouTube stuff. Smarter Every Day, Veritasium, Sciencium, I think is one of them. What's the other one? Vsauce, which Vsauce doesn't put very many videos out anymore. I think he's went off to do better things. But those are the videos I really like. As far as just entertainment videos, Gone with the Winds. There are a couple that used to RV and now they're on a catamaran sailboat. They are excellent. They're down in Fiji right now, and they're just having the time of their lives. What are some? I watched some woodworking videos. I like to watch woodworking stuff. Let's see. Do you carry road flares, the kind that burn? No, I carry. There's road flares that burn, like you see the police. They're a stick, like a stick of dynamite, and they light the end of it and lay it down, and it burns. I don't use those. I use the reflective triangles. Trucks have to have a fire extinguisher, and you have to have triangles or flares or something. They have new LED strobes. Problem with them is maybe the battery goes dead and then they're no good. So the reflective triangles always work. So I use those. I believe you have a gasoline generator. No, I have a diesel generator. It's a Onan generator that runs off the fuel. It runs off the fuel in the fuel tanks. as far as the main thing I use the generator for is for cooking. When I got to do some cooking, or in the winter time when I need to run the air conditioner, when the heater or something like that, I'll run the generator. Let's see. Let's move on here. Let's see. Sean Amos. Yeah, Sean Amos. Are you confined to an 8-hour on, 8-hour off? I guess logbook. Also, do you keep a cooler next to you for drinks on the food? No, I drink coffee most of the day. I've got a thermos. In the morning, I wake up and I brew a pot of coffee. I pour 2/3 of it into a thermos, a big Stanley thermos, and I put the other third into my little tumbler cup. It's a Yeti tumbler cup, and I sip on coffee all day long. And then when that's gone, I'll drink water or iced tea. And as far as the snacks, I used to have snacks. I try to get rid of them. I keep them out of arm's length. Therefore, I don't. If I can't reach them, I can't eat them, kind of thing. Are you John R. Artem? Are you a petrol head? Obviously. Well, petrol head. No, racing and all that kind of stuff. No, I enjoy hot rod cars and stuff like that, but I wouldn't call myself a petrol head, I guess. I don't know. But where do you stand on flying? Do you like to fly? And when did you fly last? As far as commercial airliners, last time I flew, I was in the Army. The only time I've ever been on a commercial airplane of any type was in the Army. I like flying. I'm not afraid of flying or anything like that. I've just never had the really need to go fly. And one of my objections to flying nowadays is I don't want to get molested by the TSA. So, if I had to fly, I'd go. But I always seem to find if I'm going to go on a vacation or something, it's always the kind of vacation I'm going to go drive to. I'm not going to fly. So, but if I had to, I'd fly. I'm not afraid of it or anything like that. I enjoy flying. It's an adventure. But the last time I was in the air, was probably about 10 years ago. I was in an ultralight, and those ultralights are phenomenally fun. I'm scared to death of heights, but I had a blast in that ultralight. The funny thing is, I'm not afraid of an airplane falling out of the sky. I'm not afraid of a skyscraper. I'll go right up on top of Sears Tower and look right over the edge. It won't bother me a bit. You get me on a 6-foot ladder, I'm terrified. I'm not afraid of the height. I'm afraid of the fall. You get me on a roof, trying to get off the roof onto a ladder to get. I'm a mess. But you put me on a staircase, a good solid staircase, I'll go all the way to the top. Doesn't bother me a bit. So I'm not afraid of height. I'm afraid of falling. Let's see what else here. Scroll down. I don't like Alley I. I don't like driving after dark. Does that ever bother you? No. I don't mind driving after dark. That's not a problem with me or anything like that. I like to drive during the day, though. I like to see what's going on. It's easier to drive during the day, of course. The problem with driving during the day is when everybody's out and about and the traffic's heavier. So I know drivers that love to drive at night. They'll sleep all day and they'll drive through the night because there's less traffic. I've never been one of those. I don't like that kind of schedule. I like to work during the day when you're supposed to and sleep at night when you're supposed to. But as far as driving at night, it doesn't bother me or anything. But I prefer daylight, of course, because I can see better. It's more... I look at trucking as a way to make money, of course, but also it's the adventure. And at night, all it is a bunch of lines on a pavement. During the day, you can see the mountains, you can see the clouds, you can see the things going on around you. That's why I like driving during the day. Okay, JB Maxwell. Hi, you'll have to say hello world in your intro instead of hello America. Because you have viewers all over the world now. So come on, Stan, get your act together. All right, JB. I mention other countries on occasion. I try to do it more often. I try to do it, and I fail. I'm sorry. The more in America is just my thing. I'm sorry. It'd be like catchphrase, I guess. So that's what I like to do. So anyway, sorry, I don't mean to make anybody mad. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to tick off everybody in Europe or anything, you know, in Australia or New Zealand or whatnot. I got a lot of viewers over there, over in Europe. A lot of viewers in Ireland and in England and Germany. I don't have any in Italy that I know of. I mean, I'm sure there's some down there, but not a whole lot. Not too many in France that I know of. Got a lot in Australia and New Zealand. I don't know, truck drivers, just viewers. I don't know if they're truck drivers, but yeah, I got a lot of viewers over in Europe and stuff. I've got a few in Russia and Poland and places like that. One of the oddest viewers that I've ever heard of, or not oddest, that's not the right way to say this. One that surprised me, put it that way, was Dubai. I got a viewer in Dubai. Blew my mind. I thought, what? Why would anybody in Dubai want to watch a trucker in America? But, oh well, maybe he's a lonely American. I don't know. Anyway, I don't mean any disrespect for the rest of the world, but it's just my thing saying Morning America. Okay, Phil the Stalker. How do you... Okay, he's been a little facetious here, I think. But anyway, how do you know you exist? I don't know. Look in the mirror, I guess. You have a single match and you're in a pitch black room with a candle, an oil lamp, and a gas stove. Which do you light first? I don't know, Phil. You're going to have to tell me. Sounds like a puzzle to me. On a serious question, do you ever smoke on the road or back in the day? Cigarettes, pipe, little cigars? It's easy to smoke behind the wheel. The nicotine gives you a lift and kick your butt a bit. I remember feeling a little tired, lighting up a cigarette and waking right up. Don't smoke now. I used to smoke. I started smoking when I went in the military. When I went in the Army, I was in basic training. Everybody was like, smoke them if you got them. And everybody else was smoking, and I guess is one of them peer pressure things I wanted to fit in. So I started smoking, and I was so ashamed of it. I kept it a secret from my mom forever. But I only smoked for about 3 years, I guess. And then I got married, and she didn't like me smoking, so I quit. And then when we split up, I started smoking again. And then I'd date a girl. She didn't like me smoking, so I'd quit. And then when we'd split up, I'd start smoking again. And it, went on and off like that for 10 years, maybe, back and forth. I never had trouble quitting. I just throw them out the window and just don't buy another pack. And I never had any huge withdrawal. I've never been addicted to them, I guess. I don't know. Never had any trouble with it. Just throw them out the window and be done. There's times when you smell somebody smoke and you go, oh, it's kind of like, to a smoker, if you've never smoked, a smoker that's quit and runs across another smoker that goes, and you smell the smoke whiffs their way, it's almost like you just walked into a restaurant and they're cooking meatballs or spaghetti or something and got that beautiful aroma, or a bakery or something, that it's just like, oh, it smells so good. Yeah, cigarette smoke. But to a smoker, it smells good. Yeah. Not so much anymore. I've quit I haven't smoked probably 20 years. So, not anymore. If I smell smoke now, it's kind of like, ugh. Now, I'm not a big anti-smoker. You do what you want to do. It doesn't bother me. But me personally, no, I don't smoke cigarettes. I'll smoke a pipe or cigar once in a while, but not very often. I'm not a big smoker, no. Let's see here. John Pierce. Hey, Pard, did your left leg get tired from working that clutch, stopping and starting so much in Houston traffic? No, I'm used to it. A semi clutch isn't any harder than a car clutch or a pickup clutch. The older ones used to be, but nowadays they're hydraulic clutches. They're not that bad. As far as I joke around, my left leg is stronger than my right leg, and when I I pull to the right. So, just joking. But yeah, I'm used to it. The clutch is not a big deal for me anymore. And most of the time, like I said, I let the clutch out and then I speed shift or float gears. So I don't use the clutch near as much as you might think. I'm looking here on the screen here. I just noticed this. I wanted to mention this. See, I'm going across this bridge and I'm hogging both lanes. I do that on purpose. The lanes are so narrow. Why and you're not going to go anywhere. 1 or 2 cars are going to come around me. Why risk having an accident, you know, and brushing me up against the concrete, rushing the car up against the concrete or whatever. So I just kind of hog both lanes for the half mile to get across the bridge. As soon as it widens out, I don't even get all the way across the bridge. It's right here where the spans are. That's, you know, where the girders are. That's where it's real narrow. And once you get past that, see, it widens out right here. I move right over and I'll let everybody by. It's just that really, really narrow area there. I hog the road. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. Let's see here. Let's see. Married Wire. Morning, Stan. I don't envy you going to the East Coast traffic. It can be tough. You haul a lot of different trailers. Do you prefer any particular ones? Also, do you get to the Amish area of Pennsylvania, like in the Lancaster County area? I've been there. If you explored some of the places where they'd be really cool, the farmers markets are real big. Okay, anyway, take care of me safe. Okay. What kind of trailer do I prefer? I've hauled them the most to be reefers and vans, 53-foot, 48-foot trailers and stuff. They're the best on aerodynamics because they're nice, smooth-sided. The air's already up above my truck and my sleeper and everything. So the smooth-sided trailer, like a van or a reefer, usually gives me the best fuel mileage and stuff. Trailers that I don't like to haul, spring ride trailers, things like frac tanks. They ride rough as heck. Heavy, hard trailers like that. But yeah, my favorite trailer would be a van or a reefer or a tanker, anything like that, smooth sided. I get good fuel mileage on it, be fine. As far as trailers that I won't haul, I don't know if there's anything I won't haul. There's another video or question in here somewhere, and I'm running out of time, so I'm going to hurry up here. But ask me if there's any freight that I won't haul. It's not that I won't haul it. It's just I don't need to haul it. It doesn't pay that much better or anything, so I don't bother with it. Years ago, they made I had hazmat already on my CDL. I was 100% covered. I could drive anything by law, license. I could drive anything on the road. And I had all of my endorsements in the whole 9 yards. And back around 2009, I think it was, somewhere around in there, they made a hazmat license. If you wanted to keep your hazmat license, you had to get background checked and all kinds of stuff like that. And I thought, I'm hauling frozen food. I don't think I need hazmat anymore, and it's not worth the hassle of going through the background check. And besides, I don't have to... the hazmat... Every company I've ever been with and hauled hazmat, I never made any extra money for doing it. And to me, hazmat, you've got a white van trailer driving down the road and another white van trailer driving down the road, and you pull into a scale. The one that has the hazmat sticker on it is a big red flag saying, "Hey, inspect me, check me out, check me out." And the DOT love to pull you around to give you inspections when you have hazmat on. So I just said, to heck with it. I'm not going to play their silly little game. Let other people do it. Let the new rookie guys do it. And I just got out of hauling hazmat. I haven't hauled any since. So I don't need to. I don't need to do it. I'm kind of happy doing what I'm doing right here, and I don't need the hazmat stickers on it or for anything. So I probably will never haul hazmat again. Not that I won't. It just I don't need to. There's all kinds of other stuff that I probably wouldn't do. A dead truck, hauling dead livestock. I mean, something like that, really stinky, real, trash truck, hauling garbage and stuff. I probably wouldn't want to do that kind of stuff either. So, but I think this is probably enough. I've down to the end of the video here, so I think I'll let y'all go. I hope you enjoyed it, and next video coming out will be... Oh, geesh. What am I going to be doing? I don't know. I've got some stuff filmed, but I don't really have a story yet, so I guess we'll have to see. Stay tuned. Leave you hanging there, okay? Y'all be good. Ciao.